Today guys, I'm going to be sharing 7 tips for beginners on how to get better at Fortnite Creative. Alright, so the first tip to improve as a builder is to use reference pictures. Using reference pictures is an easy way to improve your building. It's a lot easier to build more realistically and accurately if you have a picture of the thing that you're trying to build right next to you when you're building your level. I've used this technique in a lot of my builds. The most recent video that I used reference images for was the Cyberpunk City Speed build. I also used reference pictures from Assassin's Creed Odyssey whilst building the ancient Greek villa. Okay guys, so the next tip is to actually not throw the galleries and the prefabs onto the floor. Instead, you should build up a small tower and place the galleries and prefabs on that instead. So if you throw galleries straight onto the floor, it can take a long time to actually delete these prefabs, and it's just a bit awkward to remove all of these props. The better way to place galleries in Fortnite is to actually build up off the ground, put a floor, and then throw the gallery on top of the floor. You can also place a bunch of different prefabs all on this same tower just by adding different floors. This allows you to make better use of the space on the island, and it's also super easy to remove these prefabs when you're done with them. All you have to do is delete the bottom wall, and you can see this chains up and will destroy the prefab at the top. Okay guys, so the next tip that I have is to use Multiselect to build faster. On PC you can Multiselect by pressing R. It will turn the piece green. This means that you have this piece in your multi-selection. You can then hover over and look at different pieces on this building, and then you can just press R on them to turn them green, and that'll add it to the multi-selection. This means that you can go around the entire building just multi-selecting every single part of it, and then when you're done, all you have to do is look at the build somewhere, left click to copy, and then you can go around placing these small wooden huts around the map. Multiselect is a great feature for speeding up how quickly you can build your levels. It can take a really long time to build maps in Creative, so using this Multiselect feature is actually a great way to speed up that process. Alright guys, so the next tip that I have is probably the most useful one, and it's the one that I use the most on a daily basis. Again, it's something to do with the Multiselect feature. So I've decided that I want to add a rock and a tree to all of these different huts around the map, but I want to make sure that they're all in the same place. So instead of just copying this around and trying to get them roughly in the same place, there's actually a really useful trick to copy and paste these free moving props around the map and make sure that they're in the exact same position next to all of these huts. So to actually do this, you need to copy and paste a floor somewhere. So I've copy and pasted the floor out the front of the hut. You then want to multi-select your rock and your tree, and then finally you want to select this floor. You then want to look at the floor and copy and paste this tile. As you can see, it brings the tree and the rock along with it. Then all you need to do is go to the exact same place that this tile was, so it was exactly in front of this hut, and then all you need to do is paste it in front. As you can see, the rock and the tree are in exactly the same place as this one, and we can do this in any rotation. This really speeds up the process of building, and it's something that I use on a daily basis. The next tip that I can give to beginners is to rename your island. There's nothing worse than trying to find a particular island that you've been working on, and it being lost in a bunch of generically named islands, like Temperate Island 9 for example. This is especially useful if you have a bunch of different islands in your rifts, which you will if you start making a lot of maps. To rename your island, all you need to do is go over to My Island, then go over to the description tab, and then rename this top box that says Temperate Island 9 to whatever you want the level to be. Now it'll be a lot easier to find this island when you're searching for it in the Creative Hub. The next tip that I have for you guys is to delete the rocks and the trees around the island. This helps to save on memory. As you can see, I haven't built anything in this island and the memory is already up at 5,200. So if we go around deleting all of these trees, rocks, and this little wooden hut, then we'll actually save a lot of memory on this island, which gives us more memory to use on our actual creation. So as you can see guys, by deleting all of the trees and the rocks around this island, it actually frees up a lot of memory to be able to use on your creation. Just by doing this small thing, we've managed to save 5,000 memory on this island, which gives us another 5,000 memory to use on whatever we want to create. Finally, the last tip that I would give to beginners is to back up your island. There's nothing worse than accidentally deleting a prop or an item which was holding up the level, and then it chain destroying a huge section of the level, and you end up losing hours and hours of work. If you use the backup feature, then you'll be able to restore the island from the last backup. I recommend doing backups like every 10 minutes to make sure that you don't end up losing huge amounts of work. This is something that I do on all of my builds, all of my projects, and it's just a really good thing that you need to get in the habit of doing. So to create a backup on your island, all you need to do is open up this menu again, go to My Island, go to Island Tools, and then hit Backup. After you hit Backup, you should see a small saving icon in the top right hand corner of your screen. It only takes a couple seconds to save the island, and then once it disappears, your island is backed up. If you want to restore your island at any time, you just need to go back into that Island Tools menu and then hit restore. It'll also tell you when your last backup was made. And that's it guys, that's 7 tips that I give to beginners who are just starting out in Fortnite Creative. This will help you to build better in Fortnite and also help you to build your levels faster. Hopefully you learned something useful in this video, even if you have been playing Fortnite Creative for a long time. I think it's just useful to go over these tips and make sure that you are actually using them. With that being said guys, if you did enjoy the video today, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.